Skyview is also built to provide you map visuals around your performance quality. So if you toggle from pattern to performance, we can now use our red, yellow, and green to judge exactly how well a job was done. Now, in order to enable poor, fair, and good, what we want to do is customize our QA thresholds, and that can be done one of two ways. The first way is going to be down here on your options page under the QA threshold section. So to get started, what we'll want to do is enable the metric or metrics that we want to evaluate performance for, enter our target, and then build out our lower and upper margin of error. Now, our upper and lower margin of error determine what's red, yellow, and green. So anything that is plus or minus 20% of 15 mils, your lower margin of error is going to show up as green. Anything that is plus or minus 30% of 15 mils, your upper margin of error, that's going to show up as red. Anything in between your lower and upper margin of error, that's going to show up as yellow on the map. Now, the other way that you can set up these QA thresholds is on a per truck basis. So if your fleet has, thermoplastic epoxy on top of waterborne equipment, you can enter the correct targets here and view those in Skyview accordingly. What you'll want to do is just click the drop down, open up the thresholds for that specific unit, and then customize those based on what you're trying to target. Once you've got those entered, just hit save, and those will be ready for use inside of Skyview. So now we'll actually grab some job data to look at some of the insights we can get. And once we get our jobs populated here on the map, I can select one and then go ahead and review its actual quality. So now that I've got a job selected, we'll have our underlying color show up. We have a ton of green here, but with a little bit of red and yellow sprinkled throughout. So in order to determine if these red and yellow areas are a scenario of under application or over application, we can click into these individual segments. So I'll grab this yellow one here, and then I'll open up my job details. Once you've clicked on a segment and open up the job details, you'll get this little tab here called performance that will highlight the specific metric that fell outside of our given range. So in this example, we had a under application of our yellow thickness. We were shooting for 15 and only hit about 12. You can do this with other segments as well. So if you find a red segment, you can click into that here. And again, go back to your performance tab. It'll highlight the metric. Now we have a different case where this was an over application, 24 mils, well over the 15 that we were shooting for. These can be used at a very high level to figure out if your job might be exposed to under application, potential failures opening you up for restripe, or if it's a case of over application and you're wasting material, this will give you an idea of how you can kind of go about cutting that down. Now, what you can also do in Skyview is get a little bit more granular. So now that we've got a specific job selected, we could actually pick on particular colors using the advanced filters if we wanted to. So if you just wanted to look at yellow, or if you wanted to look at a specific line type, you could do that as well. If you're tracking batch numbers, you can go in there and see exactly where inventory is at on the map and how well it was performed. And then you can also break it out by line width. Now, one thing I do recommend, especially if you're already collecting your own reflectivity readings, is enabling the reflectivity side of your portal. That way you can view your performance data in tandem with your reflectivity data. Really opens up the ability to determine the knock-on effects of potential things like failures or over application for beads, material, even truck speed, and how that plays into your overall reflectivity. So that can be one thing that's enabled here. If you're doing that, I highly encourage you to inquire with us about the reflectivity side of the portal. But as always, if you'll have any questions about how to use this, how to set it up, do not hesitate to reach out. It's what we're here to do. We want to make sure y'all are getting the most out of your portal. So again, please reach out to us, whether that's through the chat bot, through our email, or by calling us directly.